Okay, so in our own words, let's come up with a definition. No one? When you read that, cumulative property states that two numbers may be added in either order. What does that mean to you?
And like, if you add them up and you like flip them around, you'll get the same answer.
Yeah. So we can add in any order. Okay. So an example. If we have 5 plus 4, we know it equals 9, right? And the same is true for 4 plus 5. It doesn't matter which way we add them, they come up with the same answer. That's cumulative. It also states that two numbers can be multiplied in either order. So we can multiply either order as well. So 4 times 6 is 24, as is 6 times 4. Either way, doesn't matter. Are we all good with that? All right, turn to page 294 then. An associative property. Cameron, read it.
It allows you to add with different groupings. Sometimes this property is called grouping property.
Okay, so what does that mean? Anybody in their own words, what does that mean? Look at the example.
Adding two numbers, you get an answer. Add an answer to another two numbers.
So if we picked any two numbers, added it together, and then added another number, we'd still get the same answer. Right, Cameron? Is that what you're saying to me? It doesn't matter, in essence, what order we do it in? Is that true?
Depends.
It-
See first. So
Well, but okay, so we're not using parentheses. Look at the board. I have the 2 plus the 3 plus the 4, and 3 plus 4 plus 2. Are we going to get the same answer? If you add 2 to 3 and then add 4 to it, do we come up with the same answer? Don't both of them equal 9? So in associative property, we can allow different grouping. So we can, again, choose what order we add. In my world, adding 2 and 3 is easy because it's 5. And I know that 5 plus 4 is 9. That's how I would group it. Now maybe Max understands that 3 plus 4 is 7, and that's easier for him to understand. Either way, we both get the right answer. That's associative. So it allows you to group how you feel easiest to group. It also works the same in multiplication. So if we have 4 times 5 times 2, for me, 4 times 5 is easy because that's 20, and 20 times 2 gives me 40, right? But maybe it's easier to go 5 times 2 times 4, because 5 times 2 is 10, and 10 times 4 is 40. Either way, it doesn't matter. We're always going to come up with the same answer. Okay? We're good there? We understand the difference between the two? They're almost the same except for this one is 2 numbers, this one is more than 2. Okay? So 2 numbers here and more than 2. So the next page, page 295, we look at distributive. Haley, read to us what a distributive property is.
The distributive property applies to problems that make multiplication and addition or multiplication and subtraction. The distributive property allows you to multiply each term in parentheses by a single factor.
Okay, so in student terms and not book terms, what does that mean to you? Anybody? So if you saw a math problem that looked like this, what does that mean to you? Evan. So we add before we multiply, right? Is this the same problem? Yes or no? Are we going to get the same answers? Yes. Because what do we do first? What's our first step? Do we add, subtract, multiply, or divide first? When we just see a problem that looks like this, what's our first step? We always multiply first, right? So in this one we see parentheses, so we add first, right? 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 times 2 is 14, right? So in this one we have to multiply first. So 2 times 4 is, and 2 times 3 is?
6.
And isn't 8 plus 6 14?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay? So what the distributive property means is that you can take the number outside of the parentheses and just make sure you multiply it by both. So you're distributing this. You're taking the 2 and multiplying it by 4 and taking the 2 and multiplying by 3 and adding them together. You're distributing this number. So if I distributed to you candy, I would have to give each one of you a piece of candy. So I distribute the 2, I have to give it to everybody. Does that make sense? No questions?